Today, we will be looking at The White Lotus, Season 1 and Season 2. Here we go. So I just finished watching the show maybe earlier this week, and I've watched it like season 2 a couple more times just because it's so damn good. Um, Overall, I'd say this is a very good show. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's very entertaining. As you can see from that trailer, it's a lot. It's fast paced. It's very good, and it's worth your time on HBO Max if you have that. If you don't, go get HBO Max. It's very good. Season 1 has been out for over a year. Season 2 just wrapped up. So if you haven't watched it, you're not that far behind. Go ahead and watch it. What I would say is it was hard for me to start. I tried watching the show a couple of times now, and it's kind of awkward, which kind of pushed me away a little bit at first. But once I got in, I was hooked. It's a drama and a comedy, I guess, and it's about rich white people, which you would get none of that from like the intro, but yeah, it's just a bunch about rich people and their problems, which is fun, I guess. I guess there's a whole genre to it that I'm just not aware of. But this show encapsulated all of it, and the two seasons have different themes. The first season has more of a theme of money. The second season's more of a theme of sex. I really thought after the first season that, oh man, I really want these characters to come back. I want to know more about them. Why aren't these characters back? But after the second season, man, I didn't think it was going to get better, but it got better, and I keep going back to the second season. Like I said at the top, it's so entertaining. This drama is just very fast-paced. These people are not likable. There's very few likable people in this show. It's just very, very quick, and it's entertaining as all get out. So before I go into like more details about what I thought about the specific second season, I would like to speak about the series as a whole. Just because I think it's very well done, but nothing was done great, which kind of impacts how I'm going to think about it and how I reflect on it, because I enjoyed this a lot. The story is good, it's entertaining, but it's not great. The scoring is good and entertaining, but I wouldn't say it's great. The way it's shot that might be great, honestly. That's probably the best thing about this. It's absolutely gorgeous, at least first season was. Second season, not as much, but Hawaii is absolutely beautiful, so it's hard to top that, although Italy is also nice. So, yeah, those were the things that kind of set the standard for me of like what I think about it. Is it's very good, but none of it's like brilliant, but I legitimately think it can be, and the way they've set this up, it's very good. So another thing that I legitimately enjoy about the show is the details that they put into it. So there's obviously that foreshadowing that happens in the show that's pretty clear, but there's also little things that they put in there that you notice when you watch back that has relevance, and it doesn't necessarily take away if you don't notice it, but it adds more on rewatches when you notice these little details. There will be great videos just going into detail about finding certain things that hint about the story to tell you more about the characters and what the director is trying to do, and how he views the characters, but also what the characters are about. So I think I love when they do that. I love when people actually care about the art they work on, and they really put effort in this one. Like I said though before, it was good. I don't think it was great, but they most definitely cared, and I always appreciate that. So what makes this show so enjoyable for me is the characters. The characters are very distinctive. They have personality. They're meant to represent some part of culture that I personally would never see because I am not rich or wealthy in by any means. So it almost seems fake at times. Like, do people really act this way? Which I'm still not sure. From the Midwest, I've never met anyone who acts like these characters. So maybe a little bit in the second season, you got a little bit douchey frat guy. So, but yeah, it's these characters are so entertaining because they're so absurd, but they're kind of based in reality. It feels like, as far as I can tell. So that's what makes it fun, and it's also just fast paced. They keep things moving, the plot keeps moving, and it's very entertaining. There's no downtime. There's something of importance always going on, and I talk a lot about like there's some films or TV that's just dumb, turn off your brain. Um, you're gonna see people fight. This isn't it. Obviously, it's a drama. It's not necessarily an action movie, although we get an action scene, I guess, kind of. Not really an action scene, more of an action death in the second season, which was great in its own means. And it's also a murder mystery, which I think kind of nails the point because in both seasons you tease someone's dead and you don't know who it is. And it was kind of foreshadowed in both seasons, and it's not ever who you think until you watch it. And then I guess there's little details that can point you in that direction of, oh, this person's going to die. But you never pick up on it. So, or at least I didn't because I was so focused on the story. And that's when you know you have good storytelling, is when you're not really thinking about what's going on because you're so into the story. This show did that perfectly. Like, there's no downtime. You're moving. I'm glad I decided to watch it at the end of all the episodes and not as it comes out because it would have been killing me to know what happens next. And it's so bingeable because you're just going to want to keep going and going and going and going because there's no downtime. So one of the things that this show had to get right was being entertaining, because if it wasn't fast-paced, entertaining, something always happening of importance, it was going to go down quickly because none of these characters are relatable, really. And none of these characters are really that likable. There's a few that you're going to root for because they're more reasonable and rational than the rest. But as most of us will not ever be able to afford these luxuries in life, none of us will ever be part of drama like this. So they had to make it entertaining. So one of the things that they really added to the value of the show was the teaser at the beginning, and it obviously pays off because you're going through knowing someone's going to die, at least one person, and you don't know who it is exactly. It's teased. You think it's going to go one way. It goes another way. They hint at it. You don't really see it, or at least I didn't, like I said before. That was brilliant by the director and writer Mike White. He talks about it in an interview out there where he's like, if I knew people would watch a show, if I just hinted at a murder at the very beginning, I would have done it in everything I ever wrote. So, absolutely lovely writing right there. And I think it's a trope that they should keep going back to in future seasons. So the other thing I kind of hope they keep coming back to is bringing back former cast members to play their previous roles in a new season. So what I mean by that is how they brought back Tanya for season 2, who is an absolute goofball, and I really enjoyed. But it'd be very interesting to see these characters as they progress in a different situation at a different hotel. So I hope that's in consideration for a future season. So speaking of characters that I would like to bring back, in all reality, I would like to see them all back at some point in different situations and just get to see these characters progress. I think adding different dynamics is good, but they just bring in these such interesting characters into each season that I'd love to see back. If I had to pick one specific character, it would be the DeGracio grandfather of season 2. I thought he was very funny. I thought he was going to be more of a problem when he started off season 2 flirting with every woman he met, but he kind of came out as a chill old guy. Has his own history, but kind of funny and kind of got that old man wisdom to it. Yeah, I thought he was very enjoyable. I'd like to see him back and not dead. So wrapping this up, overall, I would give this an 88. I thought it was very good. I didn't think it was great. I think they could get to great. I think the story is very well done. I don't think the story is particularly deep. I think it's very entertaining. Um, I just think there's another level to this. And I wish I could say like more like there's a specific thing they could do to make this great. But it's honestly just it just needs a little bit more in the story and I don't know what it is exactly for me. But it is very good. It's worth the watch. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Watch season one first. Push through the beginning if you struggle with it, like I did. There are just parts of this that are just so awkward that just make me feel so uncomfortable. I think season two was a little bit better, and that's why I've rewatched season two a couple of times. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. I enjoyed it. I didn't even talk about the intro, which is trippy and probably has its own meaning. So I'm gonna go find a video about that. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you are one of these people or been with some of these people. Are they like actually like this? Because I have no idea. So let me know about that. Let me know what you think about the show. And I'll see y'all next time. Ciao.